Breaking news coming today from the Pelicans. They have signed forward Trey Murphy to a 4-year, $112 million extension. Trey Murphy is here for the foreseeable future. Let's talk about it.
First took away. Dance with this. Get your money's worth now.
Presented by the Scott Vickner Injury Law Firm. Trey Murphy, 4 years, $112 million coming from Mark Stein earlier today. I'm just so glad they got this deal done. We've been talking about this for the last couple of months. Are they going to get the deal done? I know both sides were negotiating. They finally landed on a number. 4 years, $112 million. According to Christian Clark, there is no player option, so he's going to be here for the next 4 years unless he is traded. From the Trey Murphy side of things, he doesn't get a 5th year, but then he can test free agency out in 2028. On the Pelicans side of things, great number, great years. You now lock up Zion Williamson, DeJounte Murray, Herb Jones, and Trey Murphy for the next 3 years. So that gives you a nice little window of like, what do we have here? What can we add? So on and so forth. For the 2020 draft class, which I think is the best draft class in Pelicans history, Herb Jones signed through 2027. Jose Alvarado signed through 2027. Trey Murphy signed through 2028. That's hands down, not even debatable, the best draft class in Pelicans/Hornets history. Let's talk about Trey Murphy, the player. We know how high his ceiling is. I was actually looking at some film earlier today from a couple of years ago. Like, where did Trey Murphy get better? From what I saw, I think offensively he got better and he can still get better. And what do I mean by that? I know he can shoot the shit out of the basketball. I'm not ever worried about that. What can he do when a defender closes out on him hard or runs him off the three-point line? Can he create separation? Can he get to the rim? Can he get to the free throw line? Because not talked about enough. Trey Murphy's one of the best free throw shooters in the league. I don't want him settling for threes. I want him attacking the rim. I was watching a couple games. I think it was the Nuggets a couple of years ago where they just got Jokic on a switch, and Trey Murphy cooked them both possessions. Simple pump fake, one dribble dunk. Simple one pump fake, one dribble dunk. Back-to-back possessions, timeout. Denver Pelicans go on to win that game. Last year, I saw him get better. He added a little midi to his game. He had a couple baseline jumpers, pump fake, one dribble at the elbow, 15-footer. He needs to work on his handles a little bit more, but finishing around the rim is something I want to see over these next, definitely this year and then into next year. I know he works on it. We talked about it a lot with Trey. Those are things that he's aware of and that he's working on. And that's all you can ask for, because Trey Murphy's more than a three-point shooter. I think people are like, oh, he's a three-point specialist. Like, yeah, but he's way more of he's a overall really good basketball player. And if he can get elite in ball handling, attacking long closeouts, because, defenses, when Zion collapses that defense and kicks out to Trey, those are long closeouts. So simple pump fake, one dribble, and we're attacking the rim. Those are things I want to see Trey Murphy work on. I think that he has gotten way better from rookie year to now, and he can still get better. So the ceiling is really, really high for Trey Murphy. The next thing I want to see from Trey Murphy, you're investing $112 million into him. He's got to start. You got to figure this out. I don't have an answer for you right now. Obviously, Brandon Ingram is the elephant in the room. Is he going to get traded? If he gets traded, that obviously opens up a starting spot for Trey Murphy. If Brandon Ingram's not going to get traded, do you think Trey Murphy doesn't have an option, but he's going to have to come off the bench again, most likely, or Herb Jones or CJ McCollum. I know it's a big debate. With a hamstring injury, I'll just tell you this right now, for the first couple of weeks, maybe in the first couple of months, he's coming off the bench. You don't want to rush him 1, 2. You want to ease him back into the rotation. So he'll probably be getting 22, 25 minutes a night. But when he's fully healthy and 100% ready to go, you're investing $112 million. Eventually, you're going to have to start him. So you still have questions surrounding that. And I'm very fascinated and interested to see how the Pelicans approach this over the next couple of months, because, yeah, we've seen Trey Murphy as a starter, but the only reason why we've seen Trey Murphy as a starter is because there have been injuries. I want to see Trey Murphy the starter, like he's our 3. Injuries or no injuries, that guy's our 3. We've invested a lot of money in him. I want to see what he looks like as a starter. That's what I'm really most intrigued about, and see what he looks like. Because I saw that West Coast trip. We all did. Trey Murphy was averaging 37, 38 minutes a night. He was grabbing double-digit rebounds. He was scoring 18, 20 points a game. He was lighting up from 3. Him and Zion were working, we're perfect together. And that's that leads me to my next point. Trey Murphy and Zion Williamson have to be on the floor at all times, or as much as possible. That's another thing with the starting thing. You want to maximize Zion and Trey as much as possible. We know what they look like on the court. It makes perfect sense. Zion is a downhill player. He collapses the defense and finishes at the rim. Trey Murphy is an elite three-point shooter. So you have space, right? So that gives Zion Williamson driving lanes, gives DeJounte Murray driving lanes, gives Herb Jones driving lanes when Trey Murphy's on the floor, Brandon Ingram driving lanes. You want to maximize those guys around Trey Murphy as much as possible, especially Zion Williamson, a guy that's like we've seen like record numbers about how efficient he is at scoring the basketball. So I don't want to see this year, what you saw last year, is the first sub off the bench in every game is Trey Murphy for Zion Williamson. No. Give this guy $112 million. You need to maximize Trey and Zion as much as possible. I'd love to see them share the floor as much as possible. One thing else I want to see from Trey Murphy, attacking more and getting the free throw line. I said this earlier. He's one of the best free throw shooters in the league. He's only averaging 2.6 free throws. He only averaged 2.6 free throws last year. He needs to get to the rim, get fouled, get to that free throw line. Those are easy points, 5-6 points a night. You go from 15 to 19 to 20 points a game just by simply getting the free throw line 4 more times a night and by attacking. So look, we're talking more like I'm talking like basketball strategies now, but the big thing is that they got the deal done before the deadline today. He won't be in restricted free agency. Thank God. They get the deal done. That was the most important thing. Now we need to see Trey Murphy hopefully coming back here in the next couple of weeks, maybe to a month. We'll see. Obviously, hamstrings are tricky. He had talked about in a recent interview over the weekend how he's on pace. I know he's supposed to be reevaluated in 3 weeks. I think we're coming on that benchmark right now. So we'll see. But best news of the day, Pelicans, Trey Murphy, 4 years, $112 million. I'm sure we'll talk about this more maybe tonight or tomorrow. And then we'll be live after the Bulls game on Wednesday night. As always, smash that like button. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. We'll see y'all later.